Hey, Alika. Hello, Jalen. Okay, so we got some speakers coming in today. Alika, are you there? Is your mic working, Jalen?
As an FYI, I may or may not be able to join them.
Yeah.
Okay. Jalen, what about you?
Maybe not at the beginning, but
Yeah.
Okay, make sure you're logged in for your physics. We're going to keep working on yesterday's assignment. I'm going to put the video and everything and do our norms. And then we got a few speakers that's going to talk about some things. So you guys will not need to actually, um, we turn this down.
Do you see Mr. Tillman trying to get in?
Right. Okay. So basically, there's going to be two so speaker today in class, and you guys just got to pay attention to what they're talking about, take good notes, and put it into your report. This will help you with the credit for yesterday's assignment. I think it was 2A we was working on. So we're going to do that in a couple of minutes after we do our norms and stuff. Okay. So log into EDSB, find yesterday's assignment. I think you guys have the notes to this already, right, Jalen? Like we started on it. Alika, were you here yesterday?
No. Yesterday, while my class, while I had went to my Mr. Spring class, but when I had went to sat the building, I was in a DMV getting my ID and stuff.
Oh, okay. All right. So I'm gonna try to get you caught up, and we're gonna start in a couple of minutes with the speaker. But Alika, I'm gonna be sending you a message in the chat so you can get caught up on the document.
Okay.
Okay, so let's get this out the way, guys. We're going to be going through some speakers and stuff. But I want to do the norms first. All right, go ahead, Jalen.
I'm gonna have to write another person in case you class mistake, ruin their behavior in a way that is correct. Serve school or family. I still kind myself with through excellent integrity. We take pride in self kind myself was. Respect depends other, respect the culture of the classroom, we got to participate, we got how to ourselves, our prison our teachers. We all have to focus on parents for post second endeavor.
All right, so we're going to only do the norms because there's a presentation that's about to begin. So I need you to pay attention because you're going to get points for this. I'm going to stream it over in a one moment.
Topic of today is digital marketing. As a quick introduction, my name is Chris O'Neill. I'm the CEO and founder of Logical
Can y'all
Media
hear the
Group.
presentation in
I
action?
started Logical in 2006. I started it because my wife and I got pregnant and my daughter was on the way. I know that it's cliche to say
Alika,
that
can you
kids
hear
change your life, but that was really the
Taylor?
reason why I began seeking consulting work. And I started in the digital marketing arena, kind of primarily focused on paid search or pay-per-click and search engine optimization. And over the past now 15 years, we have grown the agency and expanded the repertoire of what we do to really encompass all things under the digital umbrella. So we have a paid team, we have an organic team, we have a web design team, which Livio Bolzan is here on the call today, who heads up that web team. And over the past about 5 years, we have carved out an e-commerce marketplace team. So we're penetrating advertising on the e-commerce marketplaces like Amazon, Wayfair, Walmart, Target, Costco, etc. So what is digital marketing? I will start by saying I actually don't like marketing. I don't appreciate or like being suggestively advertised to. I don't get to watch a lot of television these days because I am extraordinarily busy, but when I do watch television and a commercial comes on, I mute the television, or I'll change the channel and wait for those commercials to kind of pass, and then I'll come back to watch whatever show that I'm watching. And the idea is, again, I'm not a fan of the billboards on the side of the highway, right? If it's not something that I'm looking for, right? And there's, you should use this insurance company, or you should go eat this cheeseburger because it's ranked one of the best in the world. That's not something that I'm interested in because it's not something that I'm looking for. Make no mistake about it. That aspect of digital marketing, which we refer to as display advertising when you see banners on sites, is a very effective marketing strategy from a branding standpoint. I tried to find a good slide or a good example of a banner, and I found this one online, which this isn't necessarily a billboard on the side of the highway, but this is one that you cannot get away from, right? You are going to see this no matter what. And the idea here is I'm not interested in this brand. I'm not looking for it. But maybe one day I am. As a consumer, I may get into a place where now I'm looking for either this product or service. And if this company does a good enough job getting their brand in front of my eyes for a long enough period of time where I can actually connect with it, then when I am on my hunt, or when I begin my process of hunting for whatever product or service I'm looking for, this brand can end up being in my consideration set for what I'm looking for. So again, it does have a pretty powerful place in terms of how effective it can be in the digital marketing arena. I just don't like it, right? It's not my sweet spot. It's not what I enjoy in terms of marketing, but it does have an effective result. What I like, what I enjoy, and what I find extraordinarily powerful in the digital marketing arena is connecting to people that are already looking for each other. That is the type of marketing that I aspire to accomplish for all of our customers. And that's where the digital arena becomes very powerful. I'll give you an example of that. So my son, and this is an old product now, but everybody I'm sure is well aware of fidget spinners. My son got into the habit, he loved them and he was buying them all over the place. And we had an awesome collection. And he came to me one day and he had one of his favorite ones was busted. And so as his father, my prime directive in life is when my son comes to me with this face is for me to fix it, right? I've got to turn this frown and correct it. So I said, don't worry, Jack, sit down and pull out my phone and we'll do a search, right? And we'll find what you're looking for. So we did a search. Fidget spinners came up. You can see the mobile results were at the top of the page on my phone. So we picked one that he wanted. We transacted, we purchased it, checked out. It arrived the next day, which was totally awesome. I don't know if you guys have ever had anything arrive the same day that you ordered it, but that was 5 years ago. I ordered something on Amazon. It showed up the same day, and that was the impetus for us starting to penetrate into the e-commerce marketplaces.
So Jalen,
because we knew
Alika,
that was,
Joel, did you
again,
see
an
the link
effective
in
place
there?
to
I want you
advertise.
to
So
click on
anyway,
the link
showed up the next
and
day.
join the conversation
Boom,
if you
we got a
can,
happy Jack again.
because you're going to ask
Laura can go back
questions
to
and you're
spinning,
getting
and I've done
graded
my job
on
as
what
a
he's
good
talking about
father.
for today's quiz. Okay.
That to
Joel,
me
did you see the link?
is the
Alika,
effectiveness
Jalen?
of the digital marketing space. Not only solving a problem or a challenge, right, but bringing two
All right,
people
join the
together that are looking
conversation.
for
Just get
each
over
other.
there.
Again,
And
not
when
a
you ask
billboard on the
questions,
side of the highway.
I'm
Maybe
gonna
if
be
there were
grading y'all
enough
on how
fidget
much y'all
spinner
paying
brand
attention.
billboards that I'd
Okay.
seen in my
Thank you,
lifetime,
Alika. I see
I
you
wouldn't
popped
have
up
done a
over there.
search. I would have just gone directly to that site. Again, going back to that brand being in my consideration
Thank you,
set
Joel.
when I am hunting for that
You guys
product.
can stay in this
But
room
in this
too.
case, we
You just
brought
might
two people
wanna.
together, and you
If
can
it's too
see the
much noise, I'm
outcome,
gonna be
right?
quiet as I
There's a
can.
happiness here. And
But at least
this is
ask
a personal
questions and
story in
come
my
back
life,
once you're
but there's
done.
an
Okay.
existence of happiness
You
or
guys can leave this
fulfillment
room
or
for the moment, so it's not
success
an echo.
when you think about it from a
But
business
come back to the
standpoint.
room once we're all
We
done, so I
help
can
our
give you
customers
the
achieve
final grades
their
on
annual
what you did
goals
in
by
this
making
session.
these types of connections. We connect people to transact, explore, or make a connection. So let's talk about that a little bit further. Our job as marketers is to reach our clients' customers. So we're supposed to understand our clients' customers. We're supposed to know what they do every day and know what they want, and then use all that information to effectively market to them. But the challenge is every day it's getting harder and harder to do that. Now, the question is, why is it getting harder? And the reason being is that the customer journey to buying something today isn't linear. It's fragmented, and it's becoming more and more fragmented every day. So let's talk a little bit about that fragmentation. We'll go back in time, back to the 80s, when you think about primetime secular television, right? People watch TV at night with their families. If you bought an ad spot online during prime time, you could reach 25% of the population. Now, I know 25% doesn't sound like a large number, but when you're layering that over the population of the United States or the globe, it is a massive reach. So again, you can effectively engage with your prospective customers and consumers extraordinarily effectively historically. But as you look, as time went on, right, that percentage has dropped significantly, right? And nowadays it's less than 5%. And the reason for that is that there's no longer, right, that singular network and same location where people are identifying or trying to find their consumer brands. Right now, there are a multitude of networks that people can stream on. And again, this group here today is probably more dialed in on all the different platforms that you can engage and stream content than I probably am. But you can obviously recognize these three as areas where people can unplug and stream their content on demand at their leisure, right, when they want. My screen just... So in addition to that, right, and I like to call this the next shiny object syndrome, these three platforms, and there are a multitude of them that are released every year, right, are unconventional content platforms. These three produce content not in a typical way that you would think, right? But most importantly, in particular, when I think about how we manage our relationships with our customers, this is another location for us to find their prospective consumers and get in front of them, right? Get the brand in front of them and connect them. I don't know, does anybody know that Clubhouse is obviously listed as the name? Does anybody know the name of the other two?
I do not, but I've seen those logos before, especially the paper plane one.
Okay, thank you, Juan.
Like
Alexander, thank you also. Yeah, the paper plane is called Telegram, and the bear with the tickets is called Line. And each one's a messaging app, right? Has a tremendous amount of users that far surpass anything that any of the television networks have ever had, whether it's secular television or the expanded cable network. So, as marketers, we ask ourselves, is this something that we have to think about, right? Is this something that we have to consider as we're managing strategies for our brands? And the answer to that question is yes, absolutely. In addition to that, we not only have to think about the platforms, right? But we have to think about all the different devices, right? This makes it far more complicated. As we introduce all these devices, now you have the complexity of what platform the individual is on and what device that individual is on. And if you think about it, where's the audience going to be tomorrow? What's going to be the next device that we can actually advertise and get in front of customers on? So I like to put this slide together, excuse me, just to illustrate how kind of vast the digital ecosystem is, you know, and how complicated it can get when you think about the combination of the device and the platform. More and more of our customers or our brands that we manage and their customers' buyer journey is happening online inside this ecosystem. And it's fragmented as it can get, as you can see with all the different platforms and devices. So our customers as brands, right, they have to market to their prospective buyers, and they have to do that by developing content and getting it in front of their customers, where their customers are, when their customers are on their purchase journey, and most importantly, why they're there. It is critical if you can understand those three components, right? Obviously, I need to know when they're there, because if they're not there and I'm advertising, I'm going to miss them. So if I can identify when they're going to be there, right, and where that being is going to happen, but most importantly, the why, the intent, right, the fidget spinner, right? That brand was able to get in front of my son and I when we were looking for his product, and they knew why he was there to solve that problem. So that is the that is the solution that we are consistently looking for as we manage our customers and their consumers' buyer journey. So normally when I do this talk, I like to just take a step back and look a little bit and kind of level set and get ourselves grounded in how advanced we think we are. So I'd like to pose the question, does anybody know what that picture is all the way on the left-hand side, the black and white photo above the date 1792?
It almost looks like somebody selling something outside in front of their home.
It sure does. Thanks, Juan. Alika, can you hear me okay? Is my connection going in and out for you?
Chris, we can hear you. That may be on the student side.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks, Alexander. Okay, so that picture all the way on the left is the New York Stock Exchange when it first opened. So think about it. Publicly traded companies on a global economy, revolutionary. This had never been done before. Extraordinarily forward thinking, right? Now, you know, what's important is that everybody thought at that time how extraordinarily advanced they were, how extraordinarily advanced the economy was, right? So now look at the middle picture. Fast forward 200 years. That's the floor of the New York Stock Exchange in 1982, right? Everybody in that system talks about the information the exact same way, right? All the data is standardized, right? Data is, everybody talks about the reports the same way. Everybody looks at the data the same way. Information is transferred in milliseconds, right? Now fast forward to 2021. Everything's pretty much still the same, but information is now digitized. Speed has increased tremendously, right? So instead of information being transferred in milliseconds, it's now transferred in nanoseconds, right? And you no longer need to be on the floor of the exchange to trade. You can do it anywhere in the world. So significant advancement in technology over 200 years, that's, you know, that's happened since the inception of this thing. So now we start looking at the digital world, right? Current day. And everybody thinks that 2021, right, where we are, when in point of fact, you know, we're all the way back at 1792, right? We think we're so technologically advanced, we're already beyond the borders of what we could accomplish, when in point of fact, we are just getting started. Data is only beginning to be standardized. But right now, guys, everybody looks at data differently. Our agency puts a lot of time, heart, and energy into providing extraordinarily effective and insightful analytics, right? And we look at the data in every way that we can in order to extrapolate insights for us to optimize the campaigns for our customers, but also to provide them with the insights for what's working for them, right? But other agencies do it differently, right? There is no standardization. So the exciting part about this is that we have a significant advancement in technology to look forward to, and it's not going to take 200 years because the slope of the curve right now is extraordinarily steeper than it was historically. So I think about my father, my parents, and what they experienced in their lifetime. My dad was born in 1928, which is amazing thing. But think about what he experienced in terms of the advancement of technology, right? And now I think about what I've
Mr.
experienced
Carson,
in my
welcome
lifetime.
to
I'm
class.
47.
You came a little late. Are you there?
You know, obviously what I've experienced was basically the
Okay,
creation
so I'm gonna
of the
need you to go
internet
to
and
a
how it
room.
started. And so
There's
what
a
I
meeting
want to
going
just
on,
leave
and you just got to pay
guys with
attention
is
and
that this
write
is
a
a really
paragraph on
exciting
what this
time to
gentleman's
be
talking
alive.
about. You're gonna have to watch the rest
What
of the video
you are going to see in your
later on,
lifetime
but you
is
need to
going
jump
to
in there
be
now and
extraordinary.
try to pay
And
attention to what's
again,
happening.
we are only getting started.
It's the same
So
thing as being
it is really
broadcast, but
exciting.
you need to
And
jump
the
in
best
there
part
so you
about
can
it
ask
is you're not
questions
going to have to
about what
wait
he's talking about,
200
right?
years, right? The slope of the curve is extraordinarily steeper
See the
now
link?
than it has been historically. So things are coming faster in terms of that advancement. I'll leave you with this. This is a train tunnel in South Korea. So what they did is they digitized the outside of the train tunnel wall. So in the morning when you're waiting to go to work, hopefully in a post-COVID world when we can actually end up going back to the office, while you're waiting for the train, you can pull your phone out and you can buy whatever products or groceries that you want, check out, get on the train, go to work, come home, and your groceries are there waiting for you. Awesome tech, fantastic stuff, right? I buy all my groceries on Amazon right now. I haven't been in a grocery store in quite some time. I don't like going to the grocery store, but I love the fact that I can purchase all my food, my doorbell rings, and all of my groceries are sitting on my front step. So again, solving that problem or creating that solution by bringing two people together that are already looking for each other and allowing them to interact, connect, explore, or transact, right? Extraordinarily powerful. And I am convinced that what hopefully I will see in my lifetime, and I'm pretty certain that you will, is looking at this train. If all of us are waiting for the train, maybe what you're seeing on that display is different than what I'm seeing on that display because it's more customized to my experience and my buyer journey. How they're going to do that, I don't know, but I am anticipating that that is going to be something that's going to be coming. So just want to say thank you. I know that was brief. I did want to create some space for questions, but I do really appreciate you guys inviting me here today to chat with you. And I'd love to open it up and, ask what questions do you have? I'd love to see you guys too, but nobody has to turn their camera on. Anything resonate with you guys in terms of, the difference between a billboard on the side of the highway as opposed to kind of getting somebody together? I'm sure you've had similar experiences. What are your thoughts on that? Anybody bought anything online that arrived at their house the same day?
No.
No, Jalen? No.
I think the closest is Walmart. I just ordered me a new mouse. So it's gonna be here like on Saturday, I think. Probably tomorrow. So
That's great, right? Didn't have to go anywhere?
nope.
Did you go directly to Walmart to shop for it, or did you shop for it on Google and then they brought you to Walmart?
Online.
Online first and then to Walmart?
Yeah, well to the website.
To the Walmart website?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So there's a great example of the branding side of Walmart as a company, right? When you think about purchasing that product, you don't go find a store to sell it to you. You go to the store that sells that product. So Walmart has been effective in terms of letting you know that they are a supplier of that product. So you as the consumer don't have to evaluate any other competitors for that product. You can go direct and then figure out which one they sell that you want, right? So distinction between the brand versus trying to find the brand And in that case, the billboards on the side of the highway have been effective. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Awesome. Joel, did you have a question? I think you guys may have been chatting at the same time.
No, I was just gonna say that. I mean, the fastest I've had something delivered was a 1-day delivery. But I've never really had something the same day, unless I was picking it up from in store. But
Outstanding. Yeah, I in-store pickup now is a fastly adopted way of transacting for sure, based on the past year. Kendra, I'm sorry. Did you have a question too?
No, I was just thinking about. I think about like Target Drive Up. That's probably where it's same day. But most things like Amazon, if it's like a 1-day buffer between next, or like Instacart where they're delivering within a few hours.
Yeah, amazing, right? So I'll let you know, when I was in high school, you guys probably don't even know what the yellow pages are, right? But I had to find a company in a huge book, right? In a huge book. Thank you, Mr. Tyler, for recognizing and supporting me in that endeavor. Huge book, right? You would have to find a company, and then it was a phone number, and you would call them, and then you would ask if they have the product. And then typically, if they did, you would have to drive to the store to get it, or you would have to order it from them. And it could take weeks, months, whoever knows how long, right? So the world is getting smaller and it's getting faster every day, which is just, again, an exciting time to be alive. Like, it's really phenomenal. So the expectation of the fulfillment of any particular purchase is now, how come it's not here in a couple of days? Or how come it's not here in a week? Why do I have to wait a week for my purchase, right? That is now the new standard and the expectation for transacting online. So yes, agreed. When I can remember sitting at my desk at IBM, and you were able to begin transacting online, and I was like, I am not giving this website my credit card information. Are you crazy? No way. Right now, it's like, I don't have a website that I work with that doesn't have my credit card information, right? Because I want that easeability, right? And now I am more comfortable in transacting. But Michael, you make a great point. The search engines in particular, but most platforms that we transact on are and have technology that is machine learning tech. So they are doing everything they can to learn as much about you as they can. And not for nefarious reasons, but for creating that customized journey to put you in front of the product or consumer that you are looking to purchase from or interact with. And that is extraordinarily effective. Again, I have kids, and diapers and strollers are a big part of children when you first have them, right? But after a while, that doesn't become a part of your journey anymore, right? It's the past. And I can tell you, when I was pushing my kids in a stroller, I saw every stroller billboard, I saw every stroller commercial, and I also saw pregnant women everywhere. And now it's like, I don't see that anywhere because it's not part of my journey. But if I were to see an advertisement for a stroller, it's not pertinent to my life anymore. So again, going back to that customized journey, if those platforms like Google or Walmart or anywhere where I am exploring the internet knows my age, knows where my kids are, knows what my lifestyle is and where I am and what my interests are, then they can be very purposeful in terms of the content they put in front of me, because they know it's related to what I am looking for and what's going on in my life. And that is extraordinarily powerful. And we used to call it the creep factor, right? Because it's creepy that they know that stuff about you. However, that's what I want. I want my interactions online to be customized to the things that I'm interested in, to the news that I'm interested in, to the sports that I'm interested in, to the activities that I'm interested in, to the things that my children are interested in, things that my wife is interested in. That creates a journey for my life online that's very tailored to me as an individual. And we are all unique people. We are all extraordinarily different, which is what makes us so great. But that AI learning, and Michael, you make a great point, is so focused on understanding that so that they can create a customized experience for every individual. And that can create a positive outcome, in particular when you're looking to transact, when you're looking for a product or service. What other questions do you guys have?
Yeah, no, I was just about to say our time is unfortunately up. I believe well, no, the presentation was awesome, and making connections was great. We do have another presentation that we need to skedaddle over to.
Okay.
For part of our group. But I know that. Yeah, no, go ahead. Yeah, of course.
What is the question? Oh, I got it. What are the skills needed to get into this career? Does the job require coding to create websites? Great question. So I'll try and be as brief as I can. I will tell you that a lot of the applicants that we have that apply to work at Logical have taken courses in digital marketing in college. I think it is extraordinary that that is part of the curriculum. So that can be a tremendous foundation in terms of getting a baseline knowledge of what it is that we do. Traffic generation through paid outlets like search and social, very different than web design and development. If you're looking to get into creating websites, that is more of a design aspect or a development aspect. So learning code or learning how to design from an artistic standpoint. If you're looking to get into the space of traffic generation, math and science is something that we look for because it is a very analytical based space. So understanding numbers is a good starting point as well for a foundation to get into that space. I hope that answers your question.
Thank you. Mr. Tillery, are you can you hear me on the line, Mr. Tillery?
Yes.
You and your group, if you'd like to continue with I know that Mr. Tyler's class has to leave, but if you and your students would like to stay here and continue to rap with Mr. O'Neill, you're more than welcome to. I just know that Tyler and his students and I have to go on to the next group. So you can stay on here and have Micaiah, Alma, and Miss Smith, if she's on, stick around.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
You're welcome. I will be leaving the line, but Chris, we'll be in touch, okay?
That sounds great. Thank you very much, everybody. It's such a pleasure to spend some time with you this morning. I hope it was valuable, and I hope you all have a great weekend.
Absolutely.
Sure. All right, Alma and Makia, y'all have any more questions? Any more questions? Alma, you have any questions? No? Yeah, I think they're good, Chris.
Okay. Well, guys, if you have any other questions that you didn't think about today, hopefully you guys have my email address. I am more than happy anytime. If you have any questions, send me an email. I will gladly respond.
Great job,
as
guys.
quickly as
I'm just waiting on my key to come back.
Any answer that I can to those questions. So please feel free to do that. And it was a pleasure. Thank you so much for this time.
Likewise. Have a great one. Thank you.
You too. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Okay, so you guys, y'all saw that information. There's Joel. And what I want you to do is type up your questions and and what you thought about what he talked about. And this is a possible program we could bring to our school. So what you have to do is make sure you type a response in the form of a Google Doc and you submit it into yesterday's assignment. This will get you out of the quiz. Otherwise, later on tonight, you'll see a quiz and you're going to be responsible for it. So everything this man talked about, try to summarize in a paragraph and also put a question in there that you want me to try to answer. Does everybody understand what to do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very good. Alika, Jalen, what's up?
Yeah.
Okay, Alika? You with me? I think she stepped away for a second. Okay, so everybody work on that. I'm gonna give you about 10 minutes, and then you're gonna see what happens. I'm gonna stream another meeting. You don't have to necessarily pay attention to it, but I gotta pay attention to it, and I think it's something else you guys should know about. All today is speakers.
So do we gotta have a question for you, or
Well, you gotta summarize, but you know, if you don't have a question, that's fine. But summarize what he was talking about.
all right?
At least a paragraph, everybody. That's
And
5.
where are you putting this, Tyler?
You're gonna type it up in the Google Doc, right? And put it in
Mhm.
yesterday's assignment, Joel.
Okay.
Of the loop, but just trying to still remain
Yeah,
central.
there. Yeah, the northwest side has a bunch of apartments and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that's where Seattle is like the most rental properties or
Who desire and deserve more. Metro Squash combines academic support, competitive squash, and enrichment opportunities to empower students to realize their potential and make their mark. So basically, what that means is, as far as academic support goes, we help with like homework, we'll have tutoring, and let me back up a little bit. So our program starts in 5th grade and it goes through high school in the building. And then we support through like college and then on to sort of career exploration. And so the academic piece is a lot of, like I said, helping with homework, helping with specialized tutoring. So if there's like a specific subject that a student needs help with, we can like match them with a tutor. We'll do some assessments for like middle school to try to make sure that they're on track as far as like reading and math, and then in high school we'll also sort of explore maybe like some projects or try to get students involved in sort of like using the skills that they're gaining, like academic skills, but really applying them right to like more like civic engagement, so thinking about community projects. And then the squash piece, which is the unique thing about Metro Squash, is the sport squash, or it's a racket sport. It's similar to racquetball-ish in terms that it's on a court and there's a ball, 2 people are on a court and they're playing back and forth. And so students learn how to play squash. And it's really cool because you get to travel with that. So students go to tournament, whether that be just like in the city, whether that be just in different states, or even internationally. Students have traveled to El Salvador, to Colombia, all to play squash. And so it's a very fun sport. It's both an individual sport, but it has a team aspect. So I think that students kind of get both sides of that, where it's like you're in control, right, of like your kind of outcome on the court, but it's like you're with your peers. So it's like they're cheering you on, so it can still feel like you're a part of a team. And so there's a few other aspects of mental squash. So I would say we have a college and careers department, and so that they work with students getting into college, and then once you're in college, supporting students through that process. And that can include pre-pandemic. That would include like going to visit students when they're actually on campus, sending care packages. So it's pretty holistic. And then once you're like graduating college, what does it look like to help you get a job? And then also like with the career piece, like getting you internships when you're in college, and even also in high school. We try to match students with internships just throughout the year and over the summer. And then the last part is we have social work. So we have a social worker on staff usually who is there to sort of help with the more like emotional needs, and just sort of like to round it all out, because we understand that students are more than just students, right? You're people. So you have your own thoughts, your own struggles, things that you may want to talk about. And so we want to make sure that there's an outlet for that too. And it's not just, do your homework type of vibe. So that I'll try to like pause to see if there is, any questions, but that is sort of Metro Squash as a whole. That was a lot, but I can't. Are there any questions? Okay. Mm-hmm.
I have a question while the students may be formulating their own. What are the best ways for them to get engaged with Metro Squash?
Mm-hmm.
And what is your experience working with CPS students in general?
Okay, so the best way to get engaged is every September we have tryouts. And so that is for 5th through 10th grade. So students would come in on a weekend. You can find that information usually on our website. I'm not sure if it's up yet for this coming September because, obviously with the pandemic, we're still trying to figure things out. But that would be the way. It's like you come in, you sort of get to, we like to look at it as like you get to try us on as well to see if it's a good fit for you. You'll have time to get on court, kind of see what that feels like. There'll be some time to be in classrooms to try to see what that feels like. So that is really the entry point. And as far as like engagement with CPS students, so we work with students across the district. Like we work with students at charter schools, work with students that are at CPS, and I feel like the students find it as a great way to connect across schools. So we have students from a variety of different schools, whether your school's on the far south side, students are in schools way up north. And I think it's a really cool place to be able to like connect with students just outside of your school. And then it usually is a really unique, at least from my perspective, right? And like it seems like a very unique way to like bond, because you're bonding also the fact that you're in this program, you're playing squash. And so when you go to your schools, like a lot of times people will be like, what is squash? Like, what is that? And so students then get to come to Metro Squash after school and talk about, and be on the same page about what it is that they're doing. And I think that also kind of helps build that relationship out, because you're with people who know what you're talking about versus when you're at school and people are like, oh, I don't know what that is, or that's easy, I can play that. And a lot of students get that like, oh, that's easy. And they're like, no, it's not. Like, it's not easy. And if you tried to play, like, I would beat you. So it's also, I think it kind of makes students feel like they have something like a little different. And then they're getting that extra support with schools. Like we try to connect with teachers, counselors. So if you need extra support, we're there for that. So yeah, I think that's sort of like the the gist.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Okay. Yeah. Keep us in mind if you're interested in just like, if you don't really play a sport or you're interested in trying something new, this could be a good fit. We've had a lot of students come through, even in high school, and really like the program. It is a bit time intensive, so I would say like, it's 3 days a week that you're coming in, for practice and homework help. But if you have the time, and you're able to get to the facility, we're in Woodlawn, so 61st and Cottage Grove. I would say, check us out.
Do you have an informational flyer you could send us by any chance? Or like a one page or anything like that?
I'm sure we do. Yeah, I'll try to get that over.
Yeah, anything we could like post in a school, or if you're doing, when you open up applications, please send it to us and we'll distribute to students.
Actually, yes. So yes, I'll make sure to have you on the list for that, because we will be working on that in the next coming weeks.
Amazing. Mr. Tyler, unless you have any questions, we can wrap it up. And Jazz, just very appreciative for you being here.
Yeah, thank you. This was cool. Good luck on your project, students. And yeah, I look forward to seeing what comes of it. All right, thank you.
Thank you all. Have a great day. Thanks, students.
Okay, everybody. So we're close to the end of the time. I wanted to review the objective before we got out of here. Okay. So Joel, you're back, man. Carson, you there? Vernon.
Yeah, I'm back.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Did you guys get the link to that other program? That's another opportunity for you all.
Yeah, I'm gonna copy and paste it into a doc. So
Yeah. Bookmark those links, man. We're trying to get you guys as many opportunities, because summer's around the corner, and this is when you guys want to have everything applied for, so you have a lot of opportunities. You know what I mean? So let me come here, because I want to make sure you have Townhouse. That's coming up. And I figured these talks would be easier than giving you one big quiz. So you guys need to type up your responses to that other talk. You don't have to do one for this one. That was just to get some information in your hands. So let's see here, Joel. Like I said, you got here a little late, and Carson, I'm gonna have you read the objective one last time before we start wrapping up. So Joel, do you see that in the chat there? Can you read it?
Yes. Townhouse and GGI is mandatory for all students. Also, there are tons of awesome opportunities that students could take advantage of. Log in today and gain some extra credit for participating. See you there. Let's Code is later on today. Zen.
Thank you, sir. Spoken like a gentleman and a scholar. All right, so next is the objective, and I'm gonna have Carson do this one. I got to get to it first. See if I can get it going for you guys. Sometimes it glitches. Okay, I'll go here. We go, and physics. Okay, like I said, I'm trying to make it easier on you to finish the quiz today. You just have to turn in that response. But more than especially, I want to remind you of what we did yesterday so you can finish it. There is a document, right? Let me see if I can find the document for you guys. But the document is going to cover substitution method. Now, I'm going to put this in the chat because I think, what was it, Alika, you with us? You said you didn't have this? You was busy yesterday, right? Is she with us? Okay, I guess not. All right, so Carson, can you read what's on the screen there? Mr. Carson, are you there? I guess not. All right, Jalen, how about you?
Yeah.
All right.
Should be determine the order pair X Y for the system of equation with two variable unit substitution method. Confirm this superposition where it is flagrant.
Flagrant. Try that again, sir. Flagrant.
Flagrant.
Thank you. All right. So now I'm going to let's grab this. I'm going to put in the chat what you need for yesterday in case you missed it. And again, you got to download the link, right? So I wanted Alika and anybody else who doesn't have it to share their screen so I can make sure they know how to use the link. So Alika, are you here? Because you said you missed this.
Yeah.
Okay, there she is. All right. So Alika, I want you in a second to share your screen, and I'm just going to recap what you were supposed to do for yesterday. And I'm also going to go in ESB real quick while she's doing that, everybody, and put yesterday's video in there in case you don't know what happened, because I posted yesterday's video as well. So let me grab this. This is yesterday's video. Alika, you should be able to present, right? I think it's on. Yes, it's not.
No, I can't.
Now you can. Now you can. Try it now. And I'll grab this. Okay. It should be activated, right? You should be able to hit present. This is yesterday's recording that's coming up. Alika, are you presenting, Alika? Good. So did you click on the link in the chat so you can open up that document? Here you go. All right. So now that you got that, you got to download it, right? Download, right? And then open it up on your computer so you can edit it. This has the notes for 1S, everybody. And you had to use what I showed you in 1S to try to solve for 2S. Now, it's different numbers, but it's the same strategies. So, Alika, I didn't see where the document went. Okay. This is yesterday's recording, everybody. You might want to click and bookmark that in case you forgot. Okay, Alika, so, you got to change my name. You got to put the name of the class there. The name of the class is Physics with Algebra. And everybody, you're taking the word of the day for today and including it underneath the word of the day for yesterday. Okay? So you got to look up what flagrant means. Name of the class is Physics with Algebra, and it's second period. Okay? All right, so you all know what you got to do. You got to finish off the second problem. I gave you notes for the entire 1S problem. You're going to turn that in yesterday's assignment. The quiz grade is going to be that report you gave me on the talk. You're going to turn that into yesterday's assignment as well, and you won't have to worry about today's quiz, okay? So I hope everybody understands what to do. It is 11:06. I want you all to get ready for GGI.
Wait, so
go ahead.
So this is the quiz.
That talk. Remember you was in that discussion earlier.
Mm-hmm.
You got to write a paragraph on what happened, and then turn that in with yesterday's assignment. Okay, same link.
I don't know.
Huh?
Nothing. My daughter just tapped on this.
Right, that's the classroom. You got that. That's good. But I'm talking about the Google. I'm sorry, the GGI link. It's right above Zen. Do you see it? Let me put it in here again for you.
I have to stop sharing.
Yeah, you can stop sharing. I saw what you had to do. All right, everybody else has the GGI link or no?
What's wrong?
Everybody have the GGI link?
Mama?
Put it in here again. That's the GGI link. I want everybody to head over there because you get points for participating in GGI. I think Joel left us. All right, so Carson, you got the link. Jalen, Vernon, y'all should be heading to GGI. All right, there you go. Carson, where you go, man?
All right, here.
All right, click on the GGI link. Head over there. Trying to make sure you keep your scores up. You got to participate in GGI. You see the link? It's the very last link I posted. Yeah. All right, go on over there, dude. I'm about to close this room up.